Yo, what's going on YouTube? It's your boy DLloyd and welcome back to another episode of our NCAA Football 14 Dynasty Mode series. So, we are now here, like I said, week 15. Our season is pretty much over. We do not have a game here in week 15. So, I'm going to go ahead and do a live commentary, kind of show you guys some of the things going around the league and the nation, all that good stuff. So, first things first, we'll take a look at the BCS rankings. Then I'll go ahead, show you guys the Heisman race, and then we'll go through recruiting at the very end. So, Ohio State is currently the #1 team in the country. UCLA is #2, and they have 3 losses, you guys. That is definitely interesting to see a team up here with 3 losses. When you take a look at it, they lost to #12 Utah by 1 point. They lost to Stanford, and then they lost to #3 Oregon. So they have 3 losses. They have went on a winning streak since then. They beat Arizona, beat Arizona State, and then USC. But the fact that they're #2 ahead of Oregon and Oregon beat them, I don't know. It's definitely kind of questionable. But currently they are #2. You have Oklahoma up here. New Mexico is actually #7 in the country right now. They just beat Boise State. They are undefeated, 12-0. So that's definitely crazy for them. Shout out to New Mexico for being able to do that. Louisville is #13. They are 10-1 on the season. USC is at 14. TCU just moved up into the rankings. They are now 17 in the country after they just defeated #13 Baylor last week. San Diego State's up here. North Carolina's up there. Arizona State dropped, and we are now #22 in the country. After we defeated #15 last week, Tennessee, they're now out of the top 25 as well. Then you have Boise State, Ole Miss, and Alabama, who are 8-4. Look at their season rankings. We beat them earlier in the year, 17-14, but they took a lot of losses in a row. 3 losses in a row to Tennessee, LSU, and the Mississippi State. So Alabama, they're kind of lucky to be in the top 25 right now, and that's exactly where they're standing at. So taking a look at the Heisman race, I thought this was a lock for Ezekiel Elliott, but Jarrell Presley came in at the very end. New Mexico's running back, and look at his stats throughout the season. Just under 1,800 yards rushing, which is crazy. 5.6 yards per rush. He had 18 rushing touchdowns as well. His longest run was only 19 yards, but still a very productive year. When we look at Ezekiel Elliott, he had just under 1,700 yards rushing, 7.2 yards per rush. He has 14 touchdowns. Longest run was 55 yards. I thought he was a lock to win this Heisman, but now things are going to get a little interesting to see how this turns out. Rounding out the Heisman watch, you got Justin Williams, DeMarcus Smith, and then Roderick Williams Jr. to round out that list. So definitely a lot of crazy stuff going on for the conference standings. We were unable to actually get the top spot. Now we could have, but South Carolina beat us, so they are ahead of us when it comes to their conference standing, and they should be heading out to the actual SEC championship game. But they had a pretty good year. They lost to Clemson just last week, but besides that, South Carolina was definitely a pretty good team. They gave us our worst loss of the season. So South Carolina definitely deserves it, and they're probably going to be taking on, let's see who's in the West. Yeah, I think LSU. So they're going to be taking on LSU over Mississippi State. As you see, Alabama is at 3 in the SEC West. So that's definitely interesting. Real quick before we actually head into my recruiting situation, just go through the coaching security real quick, just so you can see who's about to get fired, all that good stuff. So obviously we are safe. Nothing really worried about here in the SEC. Nick Saban isn't going nowhere. A lot of these coaches are not going anywhere. If anybody gets fired, it will be the Arkansas's coach. Maybe Florida. They might fire their coach as well. And then when you look at the coaches overall, like I said, we're completely safe. We have nothing to worry about here. In Kentucky, Miami, University, they might fire their coach. Hawaii might fire theirs. Indiana, Maryland. So there's a couple coaches here on the block. I don't know why UAB coach is going to get fired. This team is terrible. There's really nothing you can do with that roster. I think they're like a 58 overall. So they should just be happy that somebody's trying to coach the team. Mike London might get fired. Definitely a couple coaches that might go. But we're safe. So I guess that's the important thing. We're safe. Everything's good to go on our end. But a lot of you guys want to see the recruiting. Then we have some pretty interesting stuff in recruiting. So I'm definitely excited to show you guys right now. For the actual top classes in our recruiting classes right now, we are just average. A 44 top recruiting class. We have 4 4-star prospects, 2 3-star prospects. Then we have a 2 and a 1-star that's already committed to us. But Our recruiting board is looking kind of bright right now. We have one main piece who I am super excited for, and that is Matt Austin. Now, I added this guy late. He got no love from anybody else. You see right here, we are leading by 2,700 points. Nobody is really close to us, but we have to find a way to close out the deal. When you look at this, only scholarship offer is from us. So we need to make sure we play this right, and we need to make sure nobody comes up and snatches him during the offseason. But look at the scouting, you guys. He's an athlete with 94 speed, 96 acceleration, and this guy could play quarterback. So I think we found just about everything right here. 90 throwing power, only a 78 throwing accuracy, but I could work with that if you got this type of speed. Definitely a playmaker, and that's what we're kind of recruiting him for. I know he could play other positions, but I'm looking at Matt Austin at quarterback, and if we can land this guy, we have ourselves a fantastic player. Danny Covington, he just actually locked us out of his recruiting board. You know, he was #1 on our list for a long time, but ever since the visits came up, he hasn't been rocking with us since then. So let's look at all the visits right now. We got 670 points. He came down, and we won the game he came down with, but he loved the Missouri visit. He liked the Vanderbilt visit and the Ole Miss visit. So we haven't really been on his best side, and then we had to schedule our visit first. I was hoping we could close the deal when that happened, but we allowed the other teams to come in after us, and it looks as if we might not be able to get it. I might try to unlock the lockout later, but I'm not sure if I want to do that yet. Greg Inman, we're looking at him right now, and hopefully we can get this 4-star prospect. He's an athlete as well. And look, he has 92 speed, 88 acceleration. His man coverage and zone coverage is definitely pretty good. I'm looking at him possibly at corner, maybe receiver. I'm not 100% sure yet where I want to put him at, but that's the beauty of athletes. We can place them wherever we see fit later on. So we're currently getting out recruited by Bowling Green and Purdue. So I don't know what's going on, but hopefully we can try to bounce back. We're clearly the top school on this list, but I don't know what he's really looking for right now. We're not that far from home. He's in Ohio. We're in Kentucky. He's not that far. But right now, we're currently being out-recruited for him. We have a receiver, Cameron Slaughter. We should be able to get him as well. It's just us in Oregon right now. This guy is pretty good. He's a gem. Look, +7 from his original ranking. 91 speed, 91 acceleration, at 88 route running, and he has a 95 ball carrying. So the guy doesn't fumble. It's us in Oregon right now. Oregon has not offered him a scholarship. So that's the key. That's the difference maker right now. Hopefully we can hold on to him because he'll definitely be a good fit. Another guy we're looking at right now is Greg Anderson. We should be able to get him. I don't see Miami University actually out recruiting us for him. So hopefully we can land him. This is a JUCO, Jay Brown. We should be able to get this guy as well. Another athlete, and the key is, when I start running down the positions, I like to go with athletes. So the athletes, you can move them wherever you really like to move them. This guy could also play quarterback as well. He has 92 speed, 85 acceleration, 78 throwing power. He has 87 throwing accuracy, but he can also play corner, and that's what I'm looking at with him also. 84 play rec, 88 man coverage, 85 zone coverage. So I'm not sure where I want to put this guy yet, but he can do a lot of stuff, but he is a JUCO player. So obviously, he's not going to have the full time to develop here, but a player that can actually probably get on the field right away, hopefully. Bernard Booker, we're getting out recruited by Texas for him. Probably not going to be able to land him. Bob Williams, kind of just have him up there. We haven't really been actively trying to pursue him until late, but he should be able to come here rather easily. Actually, I don't think they have a scholarship on him. Let's go ahead and do that now, but he should be able to come here pretty easily. Phil Cook, I don't think he's coming here at all. And then these two guys just committed to other schools just this week. So we lost the outside linebacker, lost the tight end. I'm not worried about it. Since the last video, we have signed a couple guys. Sean Price, we signed him. He is the 76 overall athlete, 4-star prospect. He is also from Ohio. I like this guy a lot. This guy can pretty much do a lot of stuff. I'm looking at receiver for him though. 91 speed, only 84 acceleration. Don't really like that too much, but he has 75 catching, a 77 spectacular catch, route running at an 82. So I'm definitely probably looking at him more at a receiver position. Chip Daughter, we got him. He's a defensive end, just decent. Shouldn't get on the field. Probably would get a red shirt his freshman year, but not bad. Max Smiley, he's going to be our punter. We don't have any punters, so we need to go get one, so we got him. Lawrence Robinson, I like him just because of his speed. His acceleration isn't there, but his speed is at a 92. So once he finally reaches that top speed, he'll definitely be a playmaker for us, but I don't see him starting right away either. Cornell Moore, We just need a cornerback. He's a pretty good cornerback. I actually like him a lot. Just look at his stats: 87 man, 87 zone coverage, 68 press. He has 90 speed, 90 acceleration. I like that stuff a lot. So he's probably going to play his freshman year. He might be the nickel guy, maybe the 4 guy, but I'm not sure. He's going to get on the field. We're going to make sure we play him at somewhere on the field, basically. I like this guy. He'll probably play his freshman year. Garth Sims, he will definitely catch that red shirt, but I like his attributes already. The 90 speed, the 92 acceleration, that will move up a little bit over time. Man coverage is decent. Zone coverage is decent as well. And his pressing is not bad at a 77. And then Tony Bentley, we already went over him. Pretty solid linebacker. I love his acceleration at the 87. His speed is not bad at an 80 as well, but just a solid linebacker. He's not going to start right away. Shouldn't be a huge playmaker. But we also got John Battle at defensive end. Just need a defensive end. He's kind of a position filler and a need filler. So that is our recruiting situation at this point, you guys. So I feel comfortable with our recruiting class. I actually like our recruiting class. I think if we can land a couple of guys, especially if we go ahead and land our top guy, Matt Austin, I think things will be looking very good for us in the future. But that is pretty much it that I have for this episode. Matter of fact, while we're on, we might as well just go ahead and advance the week to the conference championship game. Hopefully this doesn't take too long because I'm doing this stuff live, so I'm not going to fast forward or anything. Hopefully it doesn't take too long. We might as well just go to this championship game, see where our recruiting is at in the very, very last week. And then I think I also forgot to show the bowl projection, so we might as well look at that as well once we get done with this week, because I actually forgot to look at that. So we'll go through, see if our recruiting changed whatsoever, if we landed anybody or not. And then we'll go through and end it looking at our bowl projections, seeing if the Heisman race changed, which I doubt. I don't think any of them had a game this week, so it shouldn't have changed too much, if anything. But like I said, our recruiting class, I definitely like it. I definitely think, especially for the first year, we have some pieces that could definitely play and contribute. Matt Austin, like I said, that's definitely our guy. Danny Covington locked us out. We already knew that. Greg Inman, we're in the recruiting battle with him. So really nothing to do right now, but let's see if anything changed. I doubt it. Hopefully we extended our lead in some of these guys. So Matt Austin, we are still here, and everybody still dropped. So we're just extending our lead. We're up by 3,400 points. So hopefully we should be able to get him. Danny Covington, I think we're just about out of that race. We're down 2,800. I think it's pretty much a lock that he's heading to Missouri. So we'll be able to play him at least at Missouri. Greg Inman, we are still kind of trying to battle Bowling Green and Purdue, which is absolutely crazy, but we're not there yet. Cameron Slaughter, you see Oregon trying to sneak up on me a little bit. Hopefully we can try to hold him off, or he can just go ahead and commit soon. Greg Anderson, we're holding the lead right now, but Miami University, they're trying to sneak up on them. Jay Brown, I think he's kind of a lock to come to Kentucky. Bernard Booker, like I said, we're getting out recruited for him. Bob Williams, we're pretty much the only guy recruiting him. And then Phil Cook, we pretty much got out recruited by Nebraska and Navy. So I don't think we'll be able to land those two guys. But I'm not too worried about it. We're now number 22 in the country. But let's see where we're at in the BCS rankings. That's the most important. All right, so we are at 20. So we're number 20 in the BCS rankings. So that's definitely good. Let's see where we are in these bowl projections. Hopefully, we're playing in a January bowl game, but let's find out. And we are. So right now, they have us projected to play Nebraska in the Outback Bowl. Definitely don't mind that at all. January 1st. As long as we're in one of these January BCS bowls, I don't really mind it too much, but we're in the January bowl, so not complaining. You see the national championship game is New Mexico and Ohio State. That is, let me go look at these rankings again, man. I don't know how what New Mexico just did, unless they had a game last week, but they were much lower. I guess I don't know what happened, honestly, but they're there. UCLA dropped, which they should have. They're 9-3. They dropped to number 3, and right now it looks as if Ohio State and New Mexico is going to be a championship. We're going to be in the national championship. They both have games this week. New Mexico takes on San Diego State, and then Ohio State takes on Michigan State. So I guess you never know what happens. As of right now, this is the projections. This is definitely interesting because a 99 overall team against a 74 overall team in a national championship game. And a little bit of a mismatch, but It'll be interesting to see New Mexico try to do their thing in the championship game if they can hold off SDSU. But like I said, that's everything I got for this episode, you guys. I hope you guys enjoyed it. If I left anything out, let me know that in the comment section below. And yeah, if you enjoyed this episode, please leave this video a like, subscribe if you haven't already. It's your boy D Lloyd. I'm gonna see y'all next time. Peace.